Daniel Ricciardo makes promise to F1 fans ahead of Renault debut at Australian Grand Prix. The new F1 season begins on Sunday with the Australian Grand Prix in Melbourne. Lights out is at 5:10 am GMT, 4:10 pm local time, and Ricciardo will be hoping to make a good impression. Taking part in his home race for the 8th time, the Perth-born star will be attempting to reach the podium for the first time. This year, he will be driving for Renault, after he left Red Bull at the end of last season. Ricciardo had been at Red Bull since 2014, and was with their sister team Toro Rosso for 2 years before that. He will be looking to put the disappointment of last year behind him, after he failed to finish 8 of the 21 races he competed in due to reliability issues. And after the disappointment of just 2 race wins in 2018, he has promised F1 fans that there will be no holding him back this year. "You'll probably see more of it," he said of his overtaking ability to motorsport.com. "I guess the likelihood of starting on the front row, at least in the short term, is slim. The fact that there will be more cars starting in front of me is higher, so more cars to get through. You'll probably see more of the Daniel Ricciardo that you're used to." "There's no reason for me to hold back, even more so if we aren't fighting for podiums every weekend. It's even more important for me to have that character on track to try and stay relevant and push the team towards the front." Whilst he is going into the race as an outsider with Mercedes, Ferrari and Red Bull's cars all quicker, Ricciardo is confident that he can put in a good display in his maiden outing for Renault. "My first impressions, on a whole, have been positive and will continue to learn more throughout these early races," he continued. "It's going to take some time to get used to everything, but that's not unexpected. We're realistic in our approach and we have work to do, but we have a decent platform to build on now and we always strive for better. We've found some things during testing which we'll dissect and see what we want to take forward, but our bigger steps will come during the next few months." Next news: Liberty, Ecclestone to blame for calendar issues. Current owners Liberty Media have blamed predecessor Bernie Ecclestone for the ongoing issues with the Formula One calendar. Mexico have recently joined the likes of Germany, Great Britain, Italy and Spain with huge question marks over their future on the schedule, finances inevitably playing a huge role. And Liberty Media CEO Greg Maffei has name-checked former boss Ecclestone for creating some of these problems through his prior negotiations. Bernie had done a very good job, arguably too good a job, and had drained the promoters, Maffei told a Deutsche Bank conference. "And we got a lot of blowback, partly because we're public now and they can see the prices, and also partly because Bernie suggested to a lot of them that they were overpaying. That didn't help the cause. Exacerbating that our government's trying to pull back subsidies, in Mexico, other places Spain. So that creates some challenges." Maffei then provided an update on what is on Liberty's current agenda for future calendars, and it includes the option of bringing racing back to Africa. "We remain working on Miami, but there are obstacles to a lot of that," he added. "We've looked at other alternatives in the US, including Las Vegas. We've looked at other alternatives in Africa. We're trying to solidify some of the Western European races and bring those in. That core fan base is strong, and there are some in the works that may very well come to pass in those traditional Western European places." "You're always trying to balance both solidifying where you are strong, or core, which is historically Western Europe, and then adding other things, like expansion to Vietnam, potentially a second race in China, potentially a race in Africa. We're not yet prepared to announce any, but there's a careful mix or blend of where you want to grow and where you want to solidify. Next news, Wolf, Mercedes have proper fight on our hands. Mercedes boss Toto Wolff has predicted that the Silver Arrows will have a proper fight on their hands to win the title in 2019. Mercedes are bidding for a 6th consecutive World Championship double, but are facing a renewed attack from a new-look Ferrari, and Red Bull could well pose a threat themselves throughout the campaign. With the final preparations underway ahead of this weekend's season-opening Australian Grand Prix, Wolff is wary of the tough battle ahead. "Last year, we had to give it absolutely everything to come out on top," said Wolff. "From what we have learned so far, this year will be even tougher. It will push us to our limits, and that's an exciting prospect for every single one of us. Judging from the performance in Barcelona, it looks like we will have a proper fight on our hands in Melbourne." But an F1 season is not just about who comes out of the blocks quickest, under new regulations like we have this year. It is about who is able to adapt best to the new rules and the new tires and all the challenges that we will have to master during the year. The most adaptable and agile team will come out on top this season. We have shown in the past that we are fast and flexible, and that we can handle every curveball thrown at us. We're ready for the fight and look forward to the crazy roller coaster of a new F1 season. Next news, Red Bull fast track upgrades to RB15. Red Bull have been aggressive with their development program, bringing forward updates that were initially planned for China. Red Bull, now powered by Honda engines, are hoping to become a major player in the title battle alongside Mercedes and Ferrari. It has been a case of so far, so good between Red Bull and the Japanese engine manufacturers, with plenty of pre-season praise from both parties. Now that good feeling has spread throughout the garage, according to Red Bull's motorsport advisor Helmut Marko, who has told the company's TV channel Service TV that Red Bull have been able to fast-track updates to their car. Parts that were planned for the third race were brought forward, thanks to all the pressure he, Adrian Newey, could provide to get them onto the car for Melbourne, revealed Marko. Marko then once again repeated his claim that Red Bull are only behind Ferrari heading into the season opener. "Our optimism is not unfounded. I see us behind Ferrari over the race distance, but ahead of Mercedes," he said. "The RB15 is certainly the best and most expensive car in the history of Red Bull racing, if you take efficiency and the technical perfection of the parts. It was only possible, because in every phase every employee was convinced, now we are back on track." "Now we have another chance to drive for victories on our own." Marko also dismissed those who still have doubts about the Honda engine. "There have been many negative voices saying that Honda can't do it. But we've never had such faultless test days," he said. "If we have more horsepower, it's only logical that we have to look forward this year. Last year we had 4 victories. 5 victories are realistic. I hope there will be even more." Next news, F1 approves return of bonus point system. Formula One has officially approved plans to introduce a bonus points system in time for the season opener at the Australian Grand Prix. The FIA World Motorsport Council had initially given its approval to giving a point to the driver that sets the fastest lap in races, but only if that driver finishes within the top 10 places. In the past, we have often seen those drivers outside the top 10, with their races effectively over, come into the pits late on for one last glory run, but this system will now bring a stop to that happening. A vote was held on Monday by the Strategy Group and F1 Commission, and that vote delivered a unanimous verdict in favor of the system. Formula One sporting boss, Ross Brawn, said the bonus point system was put forward after months of research and will make races even more interesting. together with the FIA we have been committed to evaluating ideas and solutions that can improve the show whilst maintaining the integrity of our sport, said Braun. We felt that the reintroduction, after 60 years, of a point for the driver of the fastest lap in the race goes in this direction. We have been considering this solution, which represents a response to detailed research carried out with thousands of our fans around the world for a number of months. How many times have we heard the drivers on the radio ask the team about who holds the fastest lap? Now it will no longer be only a matter of record and prestige, but there will be a concrete motivation that will make the final part of the race even more interesting. Sometimes it is useful to remind ourselves of the heritage of our sport to move forward. It is not the first time an extra point has been awarded to the driver with the fastest lap, as it was in place for the first 10 years of the Formula One World Championship. Thank you for watching the video. Be sure to share and subscribe to your channel to get the latest sports news around the world. Wished health and success. Goodbye.